This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Bret Hart wrote, "I'm sad to learn of the passing of wrestling legend Pat Patterson. Few minds in the profession had the depth that he did. He will stand as being one of the greatest visionaries and for having an incredible imagination that paved wrestling's greatest memories. I can count on one hand the people who had the deepest understanding of great psychology in pro wrestling, and perhaps Pat was the greatest ever. His ultimate contribution can never properly be measured, but to those who know, Pat will always stand the tallest." He would continue on, but the whole thing about psychology and the deepest understanding, I think, is really what you're talking about here, that he saw things differently. And one of the things you've always talked about is the sort of traditional and things non-traditional, and how that applied to Pat Patterson's way of thinking.
Yes, it did. And also, you know, there were times that we would read the agent reports every night, which whoever the main agent producer was for the town, they would give you a report of how everything was. And sometimes, depending upon the producer, you would get completely different viewpoints on the same matches and the same cards. So we weren't really sure what the hell we were getting out there. And Pat and I would go to the shows, buy a ticket, and sit in the crowd. We would go to the merchandise stands and we would talk to people buying merch. We would talk to people in the crowd like we were just fans, and listen to them and be able to ask them questions without them knowing who the hell they were talking to, and then watch the show from a fan perspective. We did it in the Northeast, and by the second day, in the third match in the second day, first of all, we read the report the morning after the first show that we sat and watched, and it was night and day from what we saw. Like the agent, oh yeah, they did this, and they blew the roof off for this guy. Oh, this guy didn't get much of a reaction. When in some cases it was exactly the opposite. And so we saw, okay, there's a little favoritism going on here. There's that's not an accurate depiction. If you were to ask me to describe the show, I wouldn't have described the show that way. So the next night we get there and we're sitting there, and it's the third fucking match in the ring. And I remember the match was Doink, and it may have been Crush. And fucking Pat blew up. This is the shit! Fuck it, Brucey. We can't do this anymore. Look at this. We got a good house tonight. They paid money for this shit. And we're going to give them shit. Fuck it. Pat storms back to the back and fucking rips up the goddamn show and just started all over. Said, take an intermission. And we basically restarted the show and had some fun with it, and threw everything out the window and just started having fun with the show, which is what a live event was for. Try shit, but give them some gaga. Don't just don't go out and here's a couple of matches and shit. It's the most boring fucking thing in the world. Give them some shit. They watch the television show, which is what brings them to the event. But then when they get to the event, all they see is fucking wrestling matches. I want to see the personalities. Give me a promo. Give me some shit. Give me a twist and a turn. Make something develop and happen that night that you didn't expect to happen. You can do that in a live event. But it was always the formula, traditional, to, oh, well, you have your main event. Here's your card. People want to see wrestling matches. They wanted to be entertained. So entertain them. And that was Pat's whole thing. Pat was all about passion. Pat was about being able to go out and try. Every night he would start with a blank canvas. What worked in San Diego may not work in New Hampshire. So you get out there and you get a vibe and you go with it. You play and you paint a new picture each night. Then when you get to television, you decide which story and how that story is going to be told on television. And how. There was never a more stand-up guy. If someone disagreed with Pat went to him, confronted him. Randy Savage was so upset with Pat one time because he felt that he had been slighted because his father wasn't invited to the Old Timers Battle Royal in the Meadowlands. Pat got on a plane and flew to Tampa to confront Randy. So Randy, if you're mad at someone, I'm the guy that made that decision. I'm the guy that made the oversight. Be mad at me, and I'm standing here right in front of you right now. You want to punch me? Punch me. Do whatever it is you want to do. But no, I'm not going to fucking run from you, and I'm not going to not address it, because here's what's happened, and here's why. And that's the kind of guy Pat was.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.